This is the Power Age!
Watch it, buddy! Yes! It's the Atari! Sega! CD-ROM! New Nintendo!
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
Ah, yes, the hustle and bustle of the Christmas season. The year was 1982, and while I hadn't yet arrived on planet Earth, those who were here were probably playing Atari.
Video games are the latest craze to sweep the country and most of the world, too.
The Atari video computer system. Don't just watch television tonight. Play it.
That's right, Atari was a household name and turned bleeps and bloops on the TV screen into a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Millions of people are addicted to hours of gazing at electronic images on game screens in arcades and in their own homes.
That's my cousin Manny with my dad. The two of them were quite the little duo before I came around. And one of the things they would play together was the Atari.
Tatty, as baby Manny would say.
Manny was born into a gaming family. His mom and dad had owned an Atari since the late 70s, and they'd already accumulated a sizable collection of games by the time Manny was of gamer age.
It's the thing that holds it. Now the box that you put it in and all the games.
Oh, yeah,
Like it holds it. It's not the game, it's the box. That holds all the games.
My family probably contributed to some major Atari sales during the Christmas season.
But so far this Christmas season, retail sales have been generally lackluster. And retailers say it'll only be after these final 2 weeks before Christmas that we'll know the result.
But will this popularity last is the question. Well, the makers of video games are gambling that it will.
When I look at this found footage that was filmed inside that Sears department store, I'm reminded that I have some amazing footage that my dad captured during Christmas of 1983, a year later.
There's cousin Manny, or baby Manny as we called him back then.
Oh, baby Manny for mommy and daddy.
Oh, I bet you it's shaving lotion.
That's
Yes.
for mommy and Andy, a bird. Hold it up. Hold it up, Manny.
Manny was only 2.5 years old when this was filmed, but he was able to hold an Atari joystick long enough to become a video game lifer. Atari was easy to pick up and play. So simple, baby Manny could play. Or someone like my mom.
Oh, I lost it again.
You got 5,000. One shot.
Earlier this same year, Mom was introduced to the family on Easter of 1983.
Now let's not get on that.
She and Dad were quite smitten with each other around this time.
He's a great kid.
And wouldn't you know it, there's Mom playing Atari.
Oh, God, I'm glad it bounced.
Oh!
With Dad and the rest of the family cheering her on.
Come on, yeah, let's start making one, two.
Look out! Oh, the other game was better. Try it again, reset it.
Reset, how do you reset?
Go all the way over
Last
to you.
button on here. Thanks, Manny. Jeez.
Oh! No!
Oh, God. Come on, get over there, buddy. Oh. Whoa.
Come on! Oh!
Oh, no.
You're up to 6,000 on one ball. That's not bad. Come on.
This is where it all began, guys. It's so cool to see my family loving video games and loving Atari the way they were. The evidence is right here on tape. They were the original gamers.
Uh-oh. There's the lights.
But this was 1983, and the video game industry was about to crash.
There's been so many people and so many different companies that have just jumped into the industry and have come out with so many Me Too type games, and they've basically just bored the players to death.
Atari never got the message. What happened virtually overnight, more than 6,000 people lost their jobs. The company collapsed.
The industry was dying. Bad video games had flooded an oversaturated market. Consumers were ditching their consoles in favor of personal computers.
Atari home computers. Only Atari puts so much in it for you.
For my family, the crash only made Atari games more affordable and easier to put underneath the tree.
The little man from Santa.
I'll bring you up to the camera.
There's the finale coming up.
I'll bring it.
That's why I gave it to you first. My dad's
Nice.
Oh, I can play, I can practice to beat you.
Socks.
You did that.
What is that? Turn it off.
You can use one.
Dad filmed this entire Christmas with a video camcorder propped up on a tripod. You'll notice he even set up a studio light in the corner of the room for better lighting.
Oh, thank you. Corrected.
It's really exciting and quite surreal for me to watch my dad open up Christmas gifts in 1983, especially the vinyl debut album of Duran Duran that he opens.
Duran.
Dad was a huge fan of Duran Duran, and I grew up listening to their music, watching their music videos with my dad, and going to Duran Duran concerts.
How about me? All right.
It's just amazing for me to see him get that vinyl, that original debut album. The 1980s aesthetic is so thick in this video. All of the gifts that my family is opening are taken right out of the page of a Sears catalog, guys. It's so amazing. But the most amazing part for me, of course, is watching my family open Atari games.
Yeah.
No, all these over here.
Oh.
What's that? What's that? You know what that is?
Cookie Monster Munch?
Yeah, it's a Atari game.
Oh, look at those games.
Yeah.
Baby Manny.
With the Atari 2600 Kids controller too? Wow!
This is the big controller you play with. See?
This controller was designed by the same developers behind the game and several other Atari 2600 Sesame Street games. It utilized specially designed overlays that were placed over the controller's numerical gamepad. Baby Manny getting that Cookie Monster Sesame Street game on Atari 2600. I bet that game is extremely hard to find complete like that. But it wasn't just Baby Manny that was getting Atari games, no. My dad came through with really what is the first video games he ever gifted to anybody on camera. This is amazing footage for me to see. My Aunt Michelle and Uncle Mike getting Atari video games from my dad on Christmas.
Come on, stop. Come on. Ooh! Ah! Ooh! 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 Two Atari games from Uncle Mark, for me and you. Yeah. Manny too. Michelle. Atari games. The trick shot, the pool, yeah. And Halloween.
Did Aunt Michelle just say Halloween?
Yeah, and Halloween.
One of the rarest and most sought-after Atari games, based on the original 1978 horror classic by John Carpenter. I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I digitized this footage.
Oh, that's for me and Mama.
And Baby Man. Oh, that's you, Uncle Mark. What's trick shot? No, it's a game, Mom. It's an Atari game.
This game was released by Wizard Games, an independent developer, alongside Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They were unlicensed games, and they didn't sell well because, well, retailers didn't want to stock the games because of their violent nature. That's right, this was a banned game in many retail shops. My dad found this copy of Halloween at a mom-and-pop video shop. The only place you could find this game, really, was at a place like that. And he brought it home, wrapped it up, and gave it to my Aunt Michelle and Uncle Mike for Christmas that year.
Ooh! Ah! Ooh! 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 Two Atari games from Uncle Mark!
The fact that this is even captured on videotape for all of you to see is
perhaps one of a kind. I don't think anybody has footage of somebody opening up the rare and extremely sought after and controversial Halloween on the Atari 2600.
Thank you, Uncle Mark.
What's this gun?
It's a game, Mom. It's an Atari game.
I love watching my Aunt Michelle get so excited over getting video games. You can just tell she was a true gamer.
Wait a minute, don't open it yet.
It's not for me. It's for Michelle.
The original gamer from the 1970s. They bought their Atari in 1979. And if her reaction here isn't proof enough, just wait till you see what the jolly old fat guy brought her and my Uncle Mike.
From Santa. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus Mark's is 5, 6, and the Cookie Monster is 7.
What are they?
Whoa, Atari game.
I mean, I was going to say, I don't want to say it.
Atari game.
Yeah, but that's what you're going to be.
Come on, Grandpa, she's not crazy. She's cutting edge. She's a trendsetter. Her and my dad. They knew what was up when it came to video games. Video games were the future. They were our future. A family of gamers for life.
It's so crazy to see these Atari games being opened up in 1983 because, as all of you know, that is right around the time the great video game crash happened. And so I'm sure a lot of these games were discounted, found on sale, probably weren't too expensive back then. But that is not where the Atari magic at Christmas time ends, guys. No, because Dad, the following year in 1984, set up his video camera to record Christmas of 1984 and the gift giving that happened that day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, I always wanted a glass like this.
No.
This was Mom and Dad's first Christmas together.
It's makeup.
It's everything.
Makeup. Estee Lauder makeup.
Use a tray.
Estee Lauder.
Cindy Lauper.
I gotta say, guys, it's so surreal watching my mom and dad celebrate their first Christmas together as a couple. Really some special footage here. And, of course, baby Manny, he's at it again, opening up some amazing toys.
Hey.
Mickey
Oh
Mouse.
my God!
Wow. A tape.
Wow, I never saw
What
that.
is it? Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Mickey. Look at that.
Hold it up for the camera.
Camera's in the front picture. Look. Mickey Mouse cartoons from Aunt Cindy and Uncle Mark.
Thank you, Pam.
Give me a kiss.
Thank you.
Kiss.
Oh, he didn't give me a kiss.
Come here.
Go give Aunt Cindy a kiss.
Boy, oh boy.
Like it? Do you like it?
But what's even more fun for us gamers is the fact that Manny opens up some discounted Atari games that my family did not yet own.
Santa. What? Talk.
Look at these games.
You know what, Michelle?
Who's that from? Santa? Yes, Santa games. Atari games.
They're not from
Look,
different.
Mommy, it's
Everybody,
Atari.
please try to keep the conversations down.
Look, Uncle Mark, it's Atari game. Wait. See, can you look? It's Atari game. Look, Mommy. Here, Mommy, look, it's Atari.
Really? Look. Yeah, I see.
It's Atari. This game I
Right. We got Hubert, we got Tutankhamun, and Spider Fighter. Open it up, Roy.
After the video game crash of 1983 and 1984, there were a lot of people out there who said video games were over, done, a fad. Not my family.
What is it? Atari! Yeah!
You tricked me.
I did trick you.
I think it's really important that we look back on these moments and remember Atari. They were the ones that started it all. Have you played Atari today? That's probably a question my family often asked each other. Atari was just a part of the household. It was a part of life. Atari punched a hole into the imaginations of my dad and my Aunt Michelle and made them the gamers that they were. Without Atari, my cousins and I never would have experienced the love for video games and the lifetime of enjoying and experiencing video games together with our family. It's all thanks to Atari.
Oh, Mr.
Merry Christmas, cutie roots.
Merry Christmas.
And by the time I was of gaming age, right around the same age as Manny was with the Atari, the savior of the video game industry had arrived.
What's this, Tyler?
Nintendo.
That's right.